Ashraddaya hutam dattam tapastaptam kricham chaya asaditi uchyate partha nachatat pretya no iha. But sacrifice, austerities and charities performed without faith in the Supreme are non-permanent. O son of Pritha, regardless of whatever rites are performed, they are called asat and are useless both in this life and the next. Understandable? Very nice point. Its chapter concludes very nicely. The first chapter develops is about the different kind of austerities we can perform. Austerities performed for spiritual development is called sattvic. Austerities performed for name and fame is called rasic. And austerities performed just to harm ourselves, that's called madness, tamasic. The food, some people eat very sattvic food, neat and clean, correct? Vegetables, fruits, grains, that is sattvic. Some people eat spicy, heavy masala, rajasic. And some people eat liquor, meat, tamasic. And then the discussion of austerity is then about charities. Charity given in right place and time to a deserving person, sattvic. Charity given out of some kind of force, grudgingly maybe, that is rasic. Charity given to a wrong person who will misuse it at wrong time and place, that is tamasic. So basically in this chapter there were discussion of various things, sattvic, rasic and tamasic. But then the previous shlokas say that you have to offer everything to the Lord. Om Tat Sat. Whatever is done, if you do not offer to the Lord, it's useless. Correct? But it is now this shloka is clarifying it very clearly that if you do, like so many people do charity, so many people do so much big bandobas, big festivals, and they forget the Supreme, it's all useless. No meaning. Has no meaning. That's why it is a very serious point now. Most of the people in the society, they have no idea about Supreme. But they do some punya. But here the Bhagavad Gita says it's useless. Because it doesn't have any ultimate profit. It will go away. Matter of time, you do some good work, you will get some punya. And just like Prabhupada jokes, you go to the Devata, mostly people go to Devi Devatas. First they go here in this belt to astrologers. And astrologers tell them something has coming to you. So you have to do some puja. And it's a big business. And they hire some brahmanas to do that puja. Shani is angry at you, or something, some problem is there. They'll do some puja part and somehow move that problem away. And there is no understanding what is supreme, what is. So therefore the shloka says, therefore Prabhupada, go to a spiritual master. Because in this world you can experience sattva, rajas, tamas. It's not very difficult. We have idea what is sattva. You understand? In fact, that also people don't have today. Tamas means madness. Means just lethargy and sinful activities. True? Mostly people are like that only. They live sleeping all the time. And if they get up, they do some sinful activities. Maybe 90% population is like that only. Some people are a little better, they work hard. That's all. But they don't know why they're working hard. But they work hard to make little more coins. These are called rasic. Still their life is meaningless. And there are some people who are sattvic. Their life is pure. They also don't have any meaning in life. Their life is also meaningless. But at least they don't harm themselves. Just like food. Now when you eat very spicy food with a lot of chili and this, you are harming your stomach. You'll get acidity, you'll get ulcers. Agree? And tamasic, he's eating liquor, he's also going to harm himself. Agree? meat, liquor is also going to harm. Fish, meat, liquor, you're going to harm yourself. What do you say? People will not agree, but it's a fact. And the Rasic person is also harming himself. Sattvic person at least is not harming himself. What do you say? But he's still not the highest. When you eat prasadam, that is the highest. So you cannot figure out. Now, Sattvic, Rasic, Tamasic, maybe a doctor can also figure out. Okay, this kind of food will give you acidity. This kind of food will, kill you. Avoid this food. Isn't it? But they will advise Sattvic food. That people can figure out. But you cannot figure out what is Krishna consciousness. Without the help of a spiritual master, you cannot figure it out. Had we not read these books, had you not met the devotees, would have never come to know what is Krishna consciousness. We can never figure it out. Even if you know, because of culture, it's some sentiment. There is no faith in that. So you need that vidhi pranipatena. You have to take shelter. And you cannot see. Because see, sattva, rajas, tamas is within our perception. We can see. The spirituality, what we can see? What is it? You cannot see. So how do you believe? You cannot. You have to hear. Therefore, where the spiritual life begins. When you accept Shabda Praman, at that moment spiritual life begins. Spiritual life does not even begin unless you change your way of learning. Presently our way of learning is we do some experiment, we get some result and we learn like that. That is called Pratyaksha Praman. But then the spiritual world you cannot even see. You cannot see the material world. What you will see the spiritual world? You're so small. We think we are very big. Small. You see the universe, how big you are. Very small. Okay? Compared to the universe, you're not even an ant. Very small in this universe. If I keep a picture of the universe on the table, you think I can locate you? Correct? If suppose I have, this is the picture of the universe, can I locate you? No, you will not be visible. Cannot. Even microscope I cannot see you. Agreed? So actually we are very small. And then there are trillions and trillions of universes like this. There's just one universe. Who are we? We are nothing. We are insignificant. True? So how we can assume we can understand the Supreme Lord? Prabhupada says even his creation you cannot understand. How will you understand the Creator? You cannot use Pratyaksha Praman. So therefore the day we start hearing with the respect the words given in the scriptures as coming from the spiritual master, that day our spiritual life starts. Till that day we can do some logic, reasoning, all this. Maybe we say, so many things we can say. But we cannot. We can say materialist life is not good. That's what most of the people say. Even most of the spiritual organization, they are not hearing from the scripture. Are they hear? Why they don't understand this? Why they don't understand about the Supreme Lord? They don't hear. Because this much everybody can say. What they will tell you, most of the दुकान चल रही है ना, तो कुछ तो धंधा हो रहा है. Something they are doing. Why people are going inside? They will say, see, materialistic life is not good. You see, finally at the end we have to die. These all things is visible. For this thing you don't have to read the scripture. Why you read scripture? Because that thing you cannot see. Correct? You have to hear. Oh, it's like that. You got it? Suppose why you need to read Bhagavad Gita? If everything which is in Gita you can understand, why you need to read Gita? We are not reading Gita for what is obvious to us. It is not obvious. It's not visible. Therefore, Krishna in Bhagavad Gita also was silent. Because unless somebody becomes submissive, we don't even talk. We are silent. Krishna was silent. Arjuna was speaking so many all moral values. Krishna, how can I raise my weapon? My guru is in front of me. All that. This all even you can understand. Everybody can understand the first chapter. Correct? How can I raise my weapon? My guru is in front of me. My grandfather is there. What can I do? Krishna, blah, 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 blah. And Krishna was also smiling. He didn't speak anything. Because what to speak? He says, Arjuna, he spoke on moral front only. Arjuna, for an Aryan, this is not good to see. Anarya justam. This is not. This is Clybium. You are speaking like an important person, Arjuna. Anarya Justam. This is not a man who knows progressive values of life, does not speak like this. What happened to you, Arjuna? How this Hridaya Daurbalyam, weakness of heart, has come into you? Correct? Weakness of heart. Because he has to lift his weapon. You are in Indo-Pakistan border, you lift weapon, and your teacher comes in front of you. What you will do now? You will be difficult or not? We can understand. So that everybody can understand. But for that you don't need Gita. Gita is, you have to go. Prabhupada says, therefore, you should not go to the spiritual master unless you have a submissive ear. Don't go. No use. You have to hear with submission. Correct? That is how these books are situated. We read these books. I am just repeating what is there in these books, but try to understand the point. We hear, Prabhupada said, therefore, in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, unless you accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, at least theoretically, there is no use in reading Gita. Because it has to be read with respect and submission. You understanding? See, there an example is given. Kupa Manduka Nyaya. How much she knows Krishna consciousness? I was seeing, she knew Narsimha Arti. Oh, very nice. You have read books? Some books you have read. Take it. Say, you have heard about Kupa Manduka Nyaya. See, suppose, logic of the frog is easy to understand. Suppose you are in a frog is in the well. That frog is born in the well. And he has grown in the well. He has never gone outside his well. Possible. Frog is very small. Big well, he cannot come out. And suppose another frog falls into the well from ocean or big body of water, say. He has seen so many things. Now he talks to him, ocean is so big. Can this small frog understand? So how does he accept him? Take another example. You go to doctor and you say, doctor, I have fever. Doctor says you have malaria. Okay? God forbid. What do? You say, doctor, I don't believe you. Then how do you know? How do you accept him? On what basis you accept him? Why? He may be telling lie. Isn't it blind faith if you follow the doctor? Or is it practical faith? Practical faith. Why? He's a doctor. He's trained, certified. Agreed? So many times people say we cannot accept Bhagavad Gita. No, it is practical faith, not blind faith. Bhagavad Gita is accepted not by doctor. He is accepted by so many people. Correct? He is an authority on the subject. Suppose you have a legal problem. You go to a lawyer. A lawyer says we will file case on this section, that section, that section. You say, okay, proceed. Correct? Do you say, lawyer, I don't believe you? No. You are investing faith. Practical faith. Correct? True or not? Every aspect of life you have faith. You go to barber sometimes. Okay? They put one cloth around. He's holding knife. He can kill you or not? If he wants, he can kill you. Your hands are inside. But you are without faith, we are not living. But somehow, when we come to the Vedas, come to accepting the words of the Vedas, we doubt. This is not reasonable. In fact, Prabhupada says it is very unfortunate when you doubt the greatest authority. You can doubt actually the barber. Nothing wrong, because sometimes barbers may kill also. You can doubt the doctor also. Sometimes doctors, to make money, will say you have this, but actually don't have anything. Everybody can cheat. Everybody can cheat. Krishna does not cheat. Somebody asked Srila Prabhupada, very, very nice. He asked, Swamiji, how do you say we are not the body, we are spirit, soul? Give me a scientific answer. So Prabhupada says, Krishna says so. Swamiji, I ask you a scientific answer. What better scientific answer? So he is not making it up. It's so natural for her. Krishna doesn't make mistake. If he is saying so, therefore we have to accept. Swamiji, I asked you for scientific answer of that. Then again, 7 times Prabhupada tries on him. Please try to understand. You can make mistake, I can make mistake. Krishna is the greatest authority. No Maya can touch him. If he says something, it is perfect. That finally 7th time it went on. Then Prabhupada said, Dehinosvini yatha dehe, kama ram yauvanam jara. Our bodies are changing, but I remain as the same person. That proves I am not the body. You had a childhood body. You're small like that girl, other girl, correct? And now you're bigger. Bodies are changed. Correct? Body is different or not? But you are the same person. You also remember you are there running in the body like that, correct? So then what is the answer? I am not the body. I am the possessor of the body. I am the occupier of the body. I was driving some Patpati yesterday, or some 800, Maruti 800. Agreed? Tomorrow driving Mercedes. Car has changed, but the same driver. Agreed? So if you look in a detached way, every moment the body is changing. Every moment is a different body. Correct? True or not? Every moment it's a different body. So that way we can understand. But therefore, our point was coming back to the main point. When accepting the words of the scriptures, it's a practical faith. And you should never, Prabhupada said it is, if you doubt generally, it says the person is intelligent. Another important point I want to repeat today. Suppose somebody says something to you, you should doubt little. Otherwise you are a buddhu. Correct? Somebody says, give me 5,000. And you give, you should doubt what he's going to do with it. True? Agreed or not? You're going to buy land. Before giving money, you make so much paperwork, no? Because we have to doubt, because the person can take money and run away. But when it comes to spiritual life, comes to the Shastra and the Acharyas, we should never, it's very, Prabhupada said you are very unfortunate if you doubt the authority. Real authority. It's very unfortunate. Suppose patient is very sick, is about to die, and doctor comes. Doctor said, take this medicine. And he doubts and he doesn't take the medicine. Very unfortunate. Correct? So we should not doubt authority. Who is perfect? Krishna is the perfect authority. How do I say? All the acharyas say so. All the great saints, they say Krishna is the greatest authority. See, in any line, there are authorities. Agreed? In medical line, there are authorities. There are the doctors, there are medical books, there are experts. Okay? The same way, first thing is that I need to know what's the mission of my life. I have to know. Everybody will say study. But question is coming or not? Why should I study? What I want to achieve in my life? Finally, one day I'll die. Correct? Why so much tension? Question will come. So you need answer. So therefore, this is very important. We should try to understand. And how do you get spiritual knowledge? So it's just like a doctor. You have a problem. You don't know the aim of life. You don't know who are you. Suppose somebody calls you up. Who is online? And you say, I don't know. Aren't you mad? Aren't you mad or not? I ask you, who are you? Actually, I don't know. I am the body or I am the mind. I don't know. Then aren't you mad? Nobody knows how to control the senses. Correct? Aren't people crazy? And then they don't know what's the goal of life. We are living in a situation of people are totally mad. Why they are totally mad? Because they have questions. They are not approaching an authority. Arjuna also had confusion. But he approached an authority. Krishna. I said, Krishna, what should I do? Agree? I tell you, sometimes among 100 people interact, we find out of 100 one person. Manushyanam sahasreshu kashyate siddhe. Among thousands there is one person who says, why I am not able to, how to control my senses. I am not able to control my senses. Who am I? What's the goal of my life? Then you know you have met a gentleman. There was once devotees told, Prabhupada, you are preaching to a person and that person is saying he is not scared of death and he is very happy now. Prabhupada said, don't talk to him. Why? He is a mad person. Don't talk to him. Only a mad person will say he is not scared of death. Only a mad person will say he is very happy. Correct? What do you say? If he is a gentleman, he will say, yes, I am feeling so suffocated. Something is wrong with my life. I don't know what is this death, what is going to come, and I have so many questions. Then you see, when you meet a candidate like that, hours and hours and hours, we try to repeat what Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, correct? But how difficult it is to get such people in Kali Yuga today. So difficult, because mind is so much dragged by the senses. He almost becomes mad. Therefore, in the beginning, we do only Harinam. what you said, bhajan bhojan. Just let them hear the holy name and take some Krishna prasadam. They cannot understand any philosophy. But as slowly the mind become purified and they see there is something higher, spiritual in these people, they become inquisitive. Correct? You have seen? Very rare. Sometimes you get people like that, just waiting. But mostly we have to make them ready for Krishna consciousness. They are so difficult to take to Krishna consciousness. So here, very important point, Krishna is saying, whatever you do in life, if you do not connect to Krishna, it is useless. And imagine so many things happen in the country, 5-year plan, 10-year plan. So much thing, kapa upon TV or newspaper, people are talking. They don't even have an idea what is God. Correct? It's totally useless. Prabhupada says, there was in America, he was saying, so much people are excited when they change the leaders. Correct? But all this leader or that leader, nobody knows what is God and they don't know how to serve God. It is waste of time. Nothing is going to change. Prabhupada said, you replace one rascal with another rascal, nothing will change. Correct? So simply we get overexcited over the mundane affairs. Prajalpa. No. If there is a devotee involved, yes, we should be interested, because he will give Krishna consciousness to this world. Otherwise, what they will do? Correct? They themselves don't know. Andha yathandai upniyamana. It's a blind person leading another blind person.